Sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi
on JRR.
Bulldog Sports page brought to you by Kaufman and Lind Injury Attorneys. Not a great night for our Lake Mary Little Leaguers. They ran into the Texas tornado on the mound last night. Bulldog.
Yeah, this Julian Hurst from the Borney, Texas team throws a 3-hitter, and Texas beats the Lake Mary Little Leaguers, hands Lake Mary their first loss of the Little League World Series, 4-1. Lake Mary goes down. They're now in an elimination game tonight against Staten Island, New York. That'll be 7 p.m. I'm a little worried about Lake Mary. They haven't been hitting the ball the last couple of games. Even though they won their last game, they only had, I think, 4 hits in the last game.
Oh, they'll be hitting tonight. You mark my words.
They need to. Mm-hmm. They need to. Let's get it going, Lake Mary.
You know what? If I was one of their coaches, you know what I'd use as the great motivator? You guys don't really want to go back and go to school, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Good with.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Let's get some hits going, boys.
Hey, Taco, does this surprise you? I get a text from Lynch yesterday morning. Nothing like a little NASCAR in the morning. Huh?
I knew you were going to say NASCAR.
Lynch, what time were you watching NASCAR yesterday morning?
This race resumed shortly after 11, finished up about 1 o'clock. Had some crazy wrecks in there. Did you see the Corey LaJoie car go on its roof and skid?
I did, yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit scary. Luckily, he came out of that. But Tyler Reddick ends up winning the race. He'd already qualified for the playoffs. He won Talladega earlier in the year, but Tyler Reddick of the Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan team, they end up winning the race. So Michael Jordan, I guess he was there Sunday, but he wasn't there on Monday. So when the race was delayed, I guess Michael Jordan just went home.
He did.
Know.
Yeah, it's exactly what he did. They mentioned it yesterday.
And his driver wins.
Michael's like, I'm not sticking around for this. Wow. So, yeah, Tyler Reddick, there's only 2 races left now. So, with him winning, that leaves extra playoff spot. I think there's 4 playoff spots remaining with 2 races left. Of course, NASCAR, the circuit comes to Daytona this Saturday night for the Coke Zero 400. So, yeah, so playoff implications on the line Saturday in Daytona. NFL news, Tua absolutely just rips his former coach of the Dolphins, Brian Flores. He went on the Dan Le Batard show that aired yesterday, and he just went off on Flores, said the reason he's gotten so much better since Mike McDaniel got there is because Flores was just filled with negativity. Let me just read you one of the quotes. To put it in the simplest terms, if you woke up every morning and I told you that you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, not you, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you're the best fit for what we're doing. How would that make you feel listening to one and then the other? He also called Brian Flores a terrible person.
That sounds like a terrible person. If he's talking like that, man. And Tua is a pretty reasonable, nice kind of guy.
He usually doesn't go off like that, but yeah, he just rips Brian Flores, and Flores is now the D coordinator of the Vikings. I guess the Vikings and their head coach came out with a statement yesterday. Oh, he gets along with our players quite well. Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings head coach, said that yesterday. So, wow.
He sounds like one of those negative dudes that you just kind of walk away from. You kind of stay clear of that.
I mean, the Dolphins drafted Tua, 5th overall in the first round, and they immediately were trying to make a deal to get Deshaun Watson or Tom Brady. So, yeah, they didn't exactly invoke confidence in the guy. So, that was that story. This is where college football's at today, by the way. Did you see what Alabama paid their general manager yesterday?
You don't usually hear that term, general manager.
No, but you're going to start hearing it a lot more with the transfer portal, with NIL, and having to have, make sure you have enough money to go around to all the players. Yeah, they're paying their GM, Courtney Morgan, $825,000 a year. Hell, I remember when head coaches made $80,000 a year. Now general managers are making $800,000 a year at the University of Alabama. So very, very interesting. There's just the price of doing business in college football. Actually, when you think about it, you kind of do need a GM these days in college football, don't you?
Yeah, well, with all the because it is literally
negotiating
a business. It's just what it's flat out business now.
And as for paying
the
GMs and stuff like that, you know what? College and pro football generate enough money to do that. So
Right. Gus Malzahn said it a couple of weeks ago at the beginning of practice. He goes, listen, we have a system in place now where I don't have to deal with all this stuff. So, I mean, UCF has a GM. The Gators have a GM. I don't think they pay their GM $825,000, but head coaches, if they want to coach, they can't be dealing with all this negotiating with the player agents and all of this. They need to be figuring out how to win football games. So, what else we got in sports? A couple of NFL rookie starters in the NFL. It was announced yesterday they will start. Jaden Daniels was announced the starter of the Washington Commanders. Bo Nix was announced the starter of the Denver Broncos. So these rookie quarterbacks are just, they're taking over now. So.
All right. Well, they can name anybody they want. It's what happens on the field here in a few weeks when the games count that really matters. So we'll see. I'm fired up. I'm ready for the season. I think most of us are, Bulldog.
Yeah.
Lynch, you're as fired up as you were last night when you watched Steve Kerr at the Democratic National Convention, right?
Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. Also takes time out of his busy schedule to join us here for the sports page on JRR each morning, brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday, 7:30 a.m. on FM 96.9 The Game. You can catch extended versions on your favorite streaming platform. Oh!
Lynch and Taco. On demand. Download the iHeartRadio app.